So continue to remove this end cap, like so. There's a substantial amount of thread on it, primarily because it's different to the parent metal. It's actually aluminium. So they put a lot of thread on it to hold it in there, because look what it's got in there. A spring that has a quite substantial recoilability, so it's taut. And then you can see here that that's the end of the needle. So okay, how do I get that out of there? I know, I'll get a bolt and I'll get a hammer and I'll give it a good whack, that'll fix it. If I hit that, that's the end of that. How do I get that out of there? Well, it's a knurled end, so I can actually pick it up with my fingers or fingernails, or use the appropriate tool. So look at this, look what happens. Oh, hang on. What's happened? I can't get it out. What do I do? So, do I turn it? Oh no, the other end's turning. Gee, now I'm stuck. I can't get that needle out of there. Can I put this pair of pliers on that shaft? No, because the shaft runs through a seal. So, there is actually a special little socket to go on the end of this, and I'll just show you. It's a square head. So because it's a square head, you can't use a socket or a tube spanner down there because it won't hold it. You can't get it past the thread. And by the time you shove it in there, you've compromised the thread on the gun. So remember what I said, there's the knurled nut, and there's the nut for the needle in there. Well, that's a bit weird, isn't it? Couldn't they thought of a better way to do this? Well, unfortunately, no. So what I need to do is undo that somehow. So if I go to undo this, it's just sitting back in the seat and spinning around. So it's coming back this far and spinning around. Well, why can't I just give it a good old pull and get it out that way? Well, that's a good idea, let's do that. But the problem is, if I do that, I run a very good risk of bending that tiny little pin there. Okay? So there's a bit of a trick to this. All we have to do is, let's see if we can hold on to the end of that and turn this end. Well, that's a good idea. Let's try that. Oh no, it's reasonably tight. I can't do it with 2 fingers or fingernails. So what you'll probably find is you'll need to get a second pair of pliers just to spin that round and hang on to the other end. So remember what I said, there is a special Graco tool that does fit that, but because we're on site, gee, what do I do? So what we're going to do is, I'll grab another pair of pliers and I'll show you how to undo that quickly.